Hello lovelies. I decided to change things up a bit with the channel and I wanted to record a reading. I'm doing a voiceover because I'm channeling very heavy this morning and I am thankful for it. So Iboro Iboya Iboche Chifa. Okozani, my ancestors. My very phone to the Orishas. It was about, or is about, the man in charge here. Right now, when I was guided to an Odu, the IFA signature energy surrounding the current situation here is, he's feeling like, and I'm trying not to say specific things for my safety, for my sanity, okay? Yes, I was a punk like that. Anyway, he regrets a lot of things that he's done in the past. Meaning, he feels like he wish he had done more, okay? But his hands are tied. He wish there's a lot of things that he could have done better, okay? He feels like he's lacking a lot of resources and contacts and names to do certain things that he wanted to do or he still wants to do. They're making me feel his hands are tied. They're saying his hands are tied. Lucy Progreso. His hands are tied. And that they were holding his hand. Like, come on, Jimmy. You know, like they're babying him. They're coddling him like, no, we know best. And Ifa is telling him that he can't. Ifa is telling him that he can't be stuck in his head and live in the past because he's starting to be impulsive. Why? Is because things are not moving as smoothly and as fast as he thought. And Ifa is telling him that more effort and work is required, and he has to come up of new ways of reasoning, new ways of doing things, and to have tolerance. Lucy Progreso, he's not accepting of what's going on. Because at first they made me feel, when, you know, I take his soul to the past, that he didn't really want it, you know. And there was issues with the woman that is his co-partner, not intimate partner. Again, I'm being very discerning with my words. So his co-partner in this venture, okay, they're bumping heads. It feels like he's being pulled in every direction, you know, and everyone, it's like they're showing me Geritol, Lucy Progreso. Like he's an old timer and it's like he's just there, and what I tell you to do in that sense, like my decision is best. That's what they're saying. And he's being pulled in every direction. Like this one is saying, no, we need to do this way. This one is saying, no, we need to do this way. And it's like, I know best. And we're going to be gentle on your, because you're old, kind of like that. That's what it feels. Yeah, look up what Geritol is. Feel like it's something for old people, but I will look it up. And Ifa is saying that he just needs to go about things in a different manner because he's been going about things the wrong way. He's been latching out, you know, and he feels like his hands are tied. Okay, so there's certain ties that he has, but what about these ties, ancestors? What about these ties, Ifa? He feels like they're not enough, Lucy Progreso. He feels like they're not enough to get things done the way that he wants to, and he feels stuck in this repeating cycle, okay? And he's trying to move on from it. He's trying to learn from it. So Ifa is advising him, not to let these past people or situation trigger him to think, say, feel, or do the same thing that he has done in the past. Meaning latch out, meaning take out his anger on them. I feel like his career as the head, running a country is not so smoothly. And Ifa is advising him he needs tolerance. There's new methods that need to be employed here, and judge certain situations, but don't condemn the people because they were here before you. And I just feel they don't see him as competent. Now, this is just my personal opinion. This is not what Ifa is saying when I say competent. You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling I'm getting, because the people in his entourage feel like they have to literally hold his hand. Like, come on. That's the feeling I'm getting. Okay, so let me put that disclaimer. That is my personal opinion. When Ifa speaks, when my ancestors speak, I will say so. Okay? He feels like, the man in charge feels like, he's appearing, this is like a twofold type of thing. He's appearing to people like his words don't match his actions. It is because in the background, people are saying, we'll do this, but they're doing something else completely different. It's weird. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this and da-da-da-da. And Lucy Progreso, they're saying to calm him down, to get him aboard. But they'll switch it up on him at the last minute. Okay? So to him, he's like, well, I appear like a coward because I'm telling the public one thing, but something else is going on, or it'll appear like I'm doing something else completely different when I said I was going to do this or go in this direction. And in the back of the scenes, behind the curtains, he's putting up a fight, and they're seeing it as a toddler having a temper tantrum. Like, oh, we know what's best for you. Okay. Just to calm him down, let's just say yes. And then they're doing something else completely different. And he's actually contemplated a lot of resigning from his position. Okay? I don't know how that works in our society, but that's what it is, right? So he's needing right now, because his mind is all over the place and it's really stressing him out. It's more that he bargained for, but he's actually wanting to step up to the plate. So Lucy Progreso, this feels like his own making, because if in the beginning you did not really wanted Lucy Progreso, they're saying stand-in. You wanted to be a stand-in. So if you were a stand-in and then now you want to take charge, you have to understand it. And this is where the new method of reasoning, Lucy Progreso, it needs to come in. You really didn't want this. You would be like, okay, I'll be Lucy Progreso. They're making me hear Walking Trophy, by a great dance hall artist. I forgot her name. He was supposed to be the walking trophy. He doesn't want to be that. He wants to really get involved. And now they're looking at him like, well, I had this all planned out. You were just going to be the pretty face, the spokesperson, and we was finna do all the heavy lifting and do this and do that. And now you really want to do something? I don't know about that. So this is what's going on when I look into this energy. I'm afraid if he put his foot down, it might get cut off like Kunta Kinte. I don't know. But anyway, the changes that he wants, he can't have too much, what is it? Too much pots on the fire. too much iron welding. I don't know. I heard it and then it slipped my mind. But I did hear too much pots on the fire. So he needs to pick one thing and put all his effort and show that he is competent enough to really take action and do what he really wants to do. Because I feel a part of him does care, but they don't take him seriously. So he needs to be, the changes that he wants, he can't be touching everything, every area at once. He needs to focus on one thing, one specific goal in order to be effective. Also, if I was saying they all need to come together and be like, okay, now he really wants to get his hands dirty. He really wants to do the work. He doesn't want to be a walking trophy anymore. I guess something clicked and this changed. So now he really wants. So let's be at a common ground. Let's work together to get this going. But it's going to take time. And he needs to compromise, if I was saying, because he needs to use the resources that they have now. Yes, we're having a little bit of financial difficulties and emotions are high at the moment for what we are going through as a country. But he needs to utilize the resources that we have now. He needs to reach out to the people that he can reach out to and work together and, come upon this. Lucy Progreso. There's a lot of legalities at play with this situation. A lot of button heads, a lot of ego trips in the back of the scenes that we're not seeing. Again, he wants more funds to do more things, and they're treating him, as I read the energy, as I feel it, like a kid. Like a kid who having a tantrum, and they're showing me Lucy Progreso, like when you take a child to a store and they want everything, they want this, they want that, they want this, and they're looking at him like, no sir, this what we ain't gonna do, okay? This what we not gonna do over here. I'll probably get you this little lollipop after I done paid for my groceries. We'll see if we could budget that in. But no, we're not forking money into this, forking money into that, and different projects here. Okay? And it's just a clash of ego when I look at the square of this IFA square with the Odu that has come out with this situation, because Ifa and the ancestors have brought this into my consciousness. Shed some light on it. The supporter. So I thought I would read the energy in Odu square of the situation with the guidance of Ifa and my ancestors, because the Ifa can get really complex, really, and we don't have enough years in our life to even comprehend fully the nature of Ifa. Anyway, back to the reading at hand here. This is really a wake-up call for him, okay? Because as I look at this man's soul, throughout his life, he feels like he really doubted himself. Lucy Progreso, he really doubted himself, because he's very soft-spoken. He's very gentle. Not that he can't cause a ruckus, but he's a very gentle type of person. He's not rowdy like the one we had before him. Lucy Progreso, and they're saying his crookedness has a limit. So his conscience is kicking in, and that's the problem. Because they're looking at him like, oh, so you don't just want to play along? You don't, all right. You don't want to, okay. All right. And if I suggest in here that he has to be level-headed, he can't let his emotions get the best of him, because they're using that against him, Lucy Progreso. Ifa is saying, when your emotions are out of control, you cannot think clearly. Okay? You have to have a cool head, or tutu, in this situation in order to come up on top and not scatter his attention, like wanting to touch everything, wanting to fix everything at once. It's like that new employee that gets hired and they see they want to fix this, they want to restructure this, they want to do. And Ifa said you can't go into situations like that, especially when in the beginning you really didn't want to be involved. It was your woman partner who was going to take the lead, but that's not. Now you want to do your job, like really do your job and not be a walking trophy, and there's an issue. Okay? So this is really a wake-up call for him, and he's trying to wiggle his way out of being coddled and, fed, oh, sit down, old man, spoon. He has to really put on his big boy panties. Like, hey, I ain't see now. I know a thing or two, because if in this Odu square here at the cardinal points, when we look at the cardinal points of where these Odu sit, Ifa is advising that in order for him to become the leader that he wants to be, he gonna have to earn it. So he's gonna have to pull his weight and focus on one thing. As I've said, I keep iterating that because his energy's all over the place. He wants to touch too many things at once, and that's where that needing more money, lack of resource, what we need to, and they're like, no, boo boo, pump the brakes. So if I suggesting, if he wants to be this leader that he's been ranting and screaming and raving about, because he's the owner of this, yes, but he didn't want it, ancestors. He didn't want it. If I just told her that, he didn't want it. He was like, yeah, I'll just sit here and be pretty. But his conscience, like I said, when I look at his soul, he's a very gentle soul. Okay. But they're looking at him like, you see now, honey. They don't respect him at all. Ifa is suggesting that he relies on his previous experiences. I don't know. I have to look that up. Was he a senator? Lucy Progreso, because ancestors are saying that when he was a senator. I have to look that up. But in his career, I feel like this energy of I'm not taking you seriously. Oh, now you want to do something. Now you want to step up to the plate. Well, it's too late. I already had planned out how I'm going to take this over and do this. And Ifa is suggesting that he needs to go back into his career and see how this situation was handled in order for him to apply that wisdom into the now. And Ifa is suggesting not to say things that he will regret later. Again, with that impulsiveness that I felt, and Ifa was telling me, and my ancestors were telling me beforehand, that he's just kicking up a fit like a toddler, having a tantrum, right? He needs to look at, Ifa is saying he needs to look for understanding in the situation, not if it's right or wrong. And also, Lucy Progreso ancestors are telling me too, that he needs to be real with himself. Like, okay, again, you didn't want this. Now it's an issue. Now it's a problem, and people behind the scenes, behind the curtains, they're showing me it's like a curtain. They've been doing this for a while. They're proficient at what they do. Lucy Progreso, and it's showing me he's turmoil. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of back and forth of power struggles going on. But yeah, okay. He's in a Lucy Progreso. He's in a transitional period, even though there's a lot of turmoil. But this is a period of transition for him, and where he will Be like, okay, what you got for me? How much money, how much resources can I use? And he's going to work with that. Right? Okay. And I'm going to close this reading, like I said. Iboru Iboya, Ibocheche Ifa, Tokuzani ancestors. For this reading, I will be coming out with more soon. Forgive me as my schedule's a little busy. The image that you see, this is not how, disclaimer, I forgot to put this in the beginning because I was so excited. Oh my God, I was so excited. Oh my God. I'm not mocking anyone. That's just how I am. I'm goofy like that. I'm just so excited that my readings, we're getting a little fun with my readings. I don't know, maybe my ancestors done changed shifts on it. I don't know. But the disclaimer I want to make is that Odus are not read like this. This is just a physical interpretation of how I see or view with my mystical vision, how I see the Odus. So this is just for your visual pleasure, I guess. This is just a visual interpretation of the Odus. Again, I study nature IFA in its singleness. If you need a IFA reading, meaning the study of nature at its whole, that is a job of a Babalao. My license is to only read the 17 major Odus and nature in its singleness. I repeat, I have license to only read and study Ifa in its singleness. If you need a Ifa reading in its wholeness, to study nature in its wholeness, that is a job of a Babalao. Okay? Thank you so much. Don't come for me, because Ifa and my ancestors clap back. Okay? Thank you so much, my loves, for being with me and viewing this reading. I will come out with more as I am directed. And I will see you next time. Iboru, Iboya, Ibocheche.